Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the McFarlane Toys Gold Label Spawn Shadow of Spawn Black and White Accent Edition, a Big Bad Toy Store 2023 exclusive 3,000 piece limited edition, authentic limited edition 3,000 pieces from McFarlane Toys. This figure, it's a lot to say, it's a repaint of a figure we already got in a fancy package. There's not going to be a whole lot to talk about here. I'm just basically going to be showing you guys what you get for your money. I'm not going to run the articulation. It's going to be identical. Everything's identical other than the coloring and what comes with the figure. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Okay, so like I said, we have to talk about the packaging for this guy because it is part of the release. It does come in a very nice black box with some nice artwork on the back, which makes you feel bad about the figure you bought because it looks nowhere near as cool as that, and it's not even the same exact design, so that's kind of a bummer. Cool artwork nonetheless. Got the shiny Spawn logo on here, gold label, and then you already saw that. Now, the way this works is it's a sleeve, and it is a nice packaging for a standard action figure. It's just a black tray. That's it. not a whole lot to say. It's better packaging for a figure we already got, so it's like it's not a premium figure. It's just a repaint. I don't know how I feel about that. Question of the day, how do you guys feel about that? Do you care about the packaging that much in the first place? For a special edition, do you care if you have special edition packaging, or does it basically require a special figure to get special packaging? For me, I think it's a bit of a cop-out to call this a special edition when it is just kind of a lousy repaint. Okay, so figure itself, mostly very, very dark gray. That's the core figure. And then we get the slightly lighter, but still very dark gray add-on pieces, the gauntlet, the straps, the pouches, the boot, and the cape. That's all fine. No wash or anything going on here. We do have the neon green paint throughout. We have the M logo there, this right here, and the face. That all looks decent enough, except the M logo is a little bit janky here like it was before. But first thing I noticed was how sloppy and horribly painted this glossy, maybe semi-metallic green paint is on this poorly sculpted set of skulls and chain. It looks so cheap and crappy, and right front and center, just under the head, it looks really bad. The belt doesn't look much better. It's somewhat better. By the way, I have to have it bright. He's solid black. I have to brighten it up a little bit so I know the green parts. Maybe I can do this. I'll zoom in and then knock it down. So yeah, you can see it's not terrible, but they did make this part metallic slightly. Same thing with this ugly mess right here. There's like a silver wash on it. It looks goofy. It's weird. And then we get the, let me go back to there. We get the same chains as before. And I mentioned in my first review how my chain was mis-sculpted, how the chain is connected to this side. And somebody's like, no, they're not all like that. It's just yours. And I said, I don't think so. That looks like the way it was made. And this one's like it too. So unless I have the most incredibly bad luck, which is possible, the sculpt is still weird. The chain should be coming out of the bottom, not just stuck to the side. But the chains are just like, they peg into his back and they don't really have any shape. They're not bendy or anything. And they just look kind of goofy. I don't... At least sculpt him to be doing something. Like, this side's not terrible, but he's also stabbing himself. And this side, it just sticks out. It's such a lazy thing that they didn't change on this special edition. So, like, the look of it, it's okay. The best thing by far is the head. The eyes look nice. The paint is mostly clean up there. That looks pretty good. And the figure itself generally looks okay, but this isn't a special edition. It's just a repaint of an average, I mean, nice, but run-of-the-mill type of figure, you know? Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the accessories other than these chains, which, by the way, if it was me, I know they add a little bit having the green popping around there, but if it was me, I don't think I would display with them. I would, come on. I think I would just rather not have them on there, and maybe buy one of the axes I'm going to be selling soon, just have him holding an axe. But they look like, the idea of having them on there definitely helps the character look better, but they're not shaped like anything worthwhile, so that's a bummer. Okay, so instead of our regular black McFarlane display stand, we get this big square one with the green logo on there. That looks extra stretched out though. Am I crazy? I guess he's stretched it out for the logo. It seems extra stretched out though, doesn't it? Or maybe it's always been like that and I just never noticed it. It seems very stretched out, but whatever. It's okay. If you like black display stands, this one has a green paint job on it that's also, I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell that fine a detail. It's fuzzy, and it's not like it's a huge deal. From a distance, you're not gonna see it, but this is supposed to be a special release, and they can't even paint squarely. One peg on there as usual, which, by the way, doesn't help the figure stand because we still have the heavy ratchet ankles, so that's whatever. But then you get this, which is a card and a little stand, which I thought was pretty cool at first. Like, okay, one, those aren't the same thing at all, and the artwork makes the figure look wimpy and crappy. Also, there's shading on this figure right here. If they had done like gray dry brushing or gray cell shaded paint job or something to bring this figure to life like this, that would have been awesome, but they didn't. It's so cheap looking compared to the artwork. But this is glossy and has a really nice paint job on it. And then it has this card with the metallic thing. Look, it says Shadow of Spawn. But then this company is fallen. I don't know what's going on. They didn't even make it so that the card sits up proud enough to be able to read it. You have to take it out, and then you can see black and white accent edition. But if you put it in there, it's half showing. It's just so cheap, but also the card doesn't stand up straight or lean back, which would be nice. If you wanted it to lean back, that would be cool, so you could actually see it on a display. It leans forward. And the hits just keep on coming. The little display stand creases and crunches up the card. Like, horribly. Has little teeth in there to hold it, but the way they did it, it makes it lean forward and chews up the card. And then on the back, a certificate of authenticity. Get out of here. Like, talk about taking yourself way too seriously with a product that doesn't deserve it. Come on. This should have been primo. It's a cheap repaint. It cost them virtually nothing to make this. Even the little stamped 193 out of 3,000. Your number will be different for those of you who don't know how these work. It's all smudgy. It's just... Oh, but we got a fake McFarlane signature. Everything about this is half-assed. The card doesn't stand properly. It's all crunched up. This isn't screen printed well. The figure has no shading or anything, and the paint that's on there is iffy. The chains still suck. The figure is generally a good Spawn figure, by the way, so if you just like the way it looks and want a Spawn figure, go for it. But if you're going for like a premium collector's edition thing, the nicest thing about this is the packaging, honestly. And that's not exactly a thrill. So, yeah, it's nothing crazy. It's okay, I guess. If you're really big into Spawn, you probably won't care about the issues I brought up. But, like, what's the point of buying a special collector edition, limited edition, if they can't even make the limited edition stuff worthwhile? They chewed their own product up. You see those? It looks like someone bit it. Whatever. Okay, now you know. If you want to track one of these down, now you have the information to decide how much you want to spend. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. In the meantime, keep collecting.